traditional practices, would you say they are fiction?
I won't say they are yes.
Of course, we're in Nigeria. We have over 500 or over 600 ethnic groups in Nigeria. I'm making the judgment for myself to know whether this thing or this belief I think is fiction, and this is the more realistic one. Our cultures don't adapt, are not adapting these days. Do you understand? Because they are sticking to what they believe, and that is it for them.
So what's good, guys? My name is Bayo and welcome to another CityPulse episode. So today we have an interesting personality.
Thank you so much, CityPulse, for having me. My name is Trust Simon and I'm a filmmaker, and I'm also the host for Archive Heritage. Archive Heritage is a channel on YouTube that promotes our rich African values and culture.
Yeah, I've seen some of your content. Yeah, I think you guys should check them out. I think they are nice content.
Yes,
and I think I like the stories, actually all those cultural stories. But my only problem with it, I won't say a problem, but like my only, I'm just concerned, why are people believing this lot of fantasies and all that, and they dedicate their life to it. You see people saying things that does not sound reasonable, and they give their whole faith and belief into it. So why do you think people believe such, I call it fiction?
Traditional practices, would you say they are fiction?
I won't say they are yes, but hold on, let me explain.
Okay.
Would you say maybe someone got going chain from heaven for somebody to come down and everywhere was water, and then does it make logical sense to you? You hear different sort of thing. You said,
yes,
a snake came out.
Okay. So I'm not a professional in African culture, right? Or traditional practices, but I also am as curious as the viewers too. So getting to know the rich African culture, and also understand stories behind everybody's ethnicity. Do you understand? Especially from their traditional practices and their way of life. Because, culture, of course, in social studies, we learn that it is a people's way of life, right? So, already they have their way of life already.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, we're in Nigeria. We have over 500 or over 600 ethnic groups in Nigeria.
I'm not saying you are wrong.
And the thing is that if before I could get to that conclusion of knowing whether I'm making the judgment for myself to know whether this thing or this belief I think is fiction, and this is the more realistic one. Do you understand? So it is from this research that I'm able to know. And that is the process we're taking, right?
To know if they are realistic.
To know if they are actually realistic. And
they are all not realistic.
No, do you know?
Because
do you know?
Do I know that what?
Okay, wait. You're from a different ethnic group than me, right?
See, I'm from the Yoruba culture. And in our culture, we have different stories about how some kind of superstition. There was a video I saw on Twitter where they gave birth to a newborn baby, then they killed a cow. They opened the cow intestine, then they dipped the baby into the cow. They said they were doing DNA that if the baby cries, then it means the baby is a bastard. You get? Okay. So when people still do all these absurd things and they say, oh, it's our culture, that is the way our forefathers did it. So I feel yes, we have majority of we have our culture, but come on, these things are not they are not working in these modern times.
Okay, that is what you believe, right? Because the thing is, they also believe in something. That is the reason why they are doing what they are doing. Had it been they don't believe in something, they wouldn't have been performing such things. So
Do you think?
have you tried to ask them questions why and if it actually works? Because before they have their way
I
of
don't
life,
like.
they have been doing it.
I don't need to ask them questions.
So
You
which
understand?
one do you think is the right way?
See, I feel like African culture has gotten to a point where it needs to be like everyone needs to start, all our traditional rulers need to sit down, talk together, and scrutinize all some of our cultures, our traditions, some of our practices, and like abolish, if not most of it. Because come to think of it, this thing, even the Westerners in their ancient era, they had traditional practices they do. Even in the the Americans, for example, at some point they offered human being sacrifices, all this. But sometimes
even in
they
the
evolve
Bible.
beyond that.
Of course, yes,
You get?
yes, you're right.
And so
You're
don't
right.
you think it's time to like drop all these things that are not working and like just
you're
moved on?
Yes, you're right. Sorry to cut you if I do. So, but you are very correct because I mean, they say two heads is better than one, right? So, and one community is made of single individuals like me and you, right? So, the best thing that we could do is not to also sit down and try to adapt because our cultures are not adapting these days. Do you understand? Because they are sticking to what they believe, and that is it for them.
So it is something we need to work on.
It is something that we need to put our heads together because maybe some things might be working perfectly. Okay, if I do some certain things, I might not be able to. Or if I do some certain things, some things happen. While you guys already have the answer to it, and me, I just don't know. So if it happens like that, I'll think like as if there's something wrong, or definitely there's a cost to it. But what's the solution? I might not have the solution, but you guys maybe have already figured it out, and we are still in the same Nigeria. If I meet you and you share the possible solution for my problem, then you see that we have joined heads together to understand each other and we're growing together. Do you understand? So you are helping me solve my problem through the experiences that you have. So what I'm just saying is that, of course, they need to put their head together and collaborate. That is the best way we can be able to be innovative and to be more creative, because you are bringing a solution that is going to be helpful to me. You understand? So maybe there is something that you might come and realize in my own village that it is like, maybe if that's the right thing to do. You understand? So it's more like we need to put aside differences and understand that we are all one.
You know the irony? The more we keep promoting culture and our traditional practices, I feel like the more it causes disunity, because that's where you see people like start putting their culture over their nationality. When it's time for a group of people to come together, that's when you start saying them, Yoruba, this is how do we do it in Yoruba land, and how they get extreme.
Yes, those are the ignorant ones now. Those are the ignorant ones. So it is very important that...
Okay, those are like, do you think there are any positive? You said those are the ignorant ones, maybe like they are promoting the negative aspect. Like, do you think, what are the positive impacts of these cultural practices to like our daily lives? Are there like any positive impact that you can point to?
Yes, no. Like, it's number one, you can see it supports you. It should be a supportive system.
It should be, but is it
now that's the sensitization that we really need to like get out there and also get to know. Do you understand? So it should have like a very good supportive system, of which I don't think it doesn't. I don't think it does right now. So but it is also important. Probably it is so because people don't really know that it is important for us to collaborate. Do you understand? Because my own idea can be something that we can work together.
I feel like if I'm going to give my own personal opinion on this, I feel like it is time we like give serious scrutiny to the old cultural thing and leave out some certain aspect of it. We're going to call thought out. You can leave the dressing.
Yes, now.
Like this danshiki cap and wear now. That aspect of your culture. I love it. But when you are starting to like, you are dropping, and there's one certain habit when I was in junior secondary school, like when I was school bus, we'll be passing some junction, some street like this, and you see people littering the place with calabash and all this egg and they'll put chalk and all this. And I'm like, bro, why in the 20th century, for God's sake?
So some people don't know that you can even do away without those things and still live a very good life. If you check very deeply, maybe they have their own, of course, and you know that in an ethnic group, they have their moral values and they have principles that govern them. You understand? So that brings out even the government system too. Do you understand? From the king and, to the rest of the officials. And it's also the same in our modern generation. You realize that most of the things that we are currently practicing are adopted cultures.
Will I say adopted cultures?
Yes, now. Because you are doing mostly... Okay, see. We are no.
As human being
I'm
evolve,
not saying it is bad.
They learn. As human being evolve, like look at developed countries now. There are things they learn from each other. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's the collaborative spirit that we don't have in our African cultures. Because if we can be collaborative and forget that we are different and understand that when we work together we can achieve more, then something must be wrong, man.
So you agree, like we need to promote
we need
stuff
to promote
like
unity
national pledge
and do away with the diabolic ones. Those ones that that, man, they don't really make any sense. This is the right way to go because I'm bringing solution to you. Do you understand? If I know that you can do it with these things, then forget about it. Okay. This is the right possible way. That's the collaborative spirit. Okay. You understand? So you will believe that most of the things that we do currently are adopted cultures, right? Yeah. Because I'm speaking a different language.
I agree, but I don't think it's a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you want to promote your culture, if you want to stand out, if you want to make a difference in Nigeria, we need to forget about our ethnic differences and come together and unite to do things together.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
All right.
Do you think most African culture, do you think they still give value to modern day society? Because times have moved on, you get. Do you think they still have value or any reason to be promoted at all?
Yeah, it's, of course, they do have value. They do have value. And you will only know it if you ask questions. Because right now, if I don't know something or you want to know something, you have to ask me if I do have it. Because if you come and meet me, I might not know what you want. But if you ask me specifically, then, there are chances you can be able to get a solution. So, and it is the same in our culture. We need to learn to keep the heritages. We need to just know them. You understand? Know how to speak your language. If you don't know how to speak your language, like promote something or know something about your culture, because it is very important. You know that the food that you were eating before, it has, to some extent, has more nutritional value than the food you're currently eating these days, because mostly are fast food and things that you've adopted. So it is very important. The values are key. In fact, respecting your elders is also one of the things that it should be very essential.
That's a cultural thing. I think that's just like a moral thing.
No, moral is because an elderly person might know more than you do, and it is not that doesn't mean that even a small boy cannot teach an elderly person, because the world is evolving and we have access to more information.
We
are more exposed. So
shout out to Gen Z.
Yes, so you understand. So right now you can access faster information a lot faster. So we need to stay, because the thing is, same as ourselves, we need to evolve as human beings. It is the same thing with our culture, and in Nigeria, we need to also evolve as human beings.
So you agree, like most of our cultural practices are like they are passed overdue?
No, yes. There are things that we need to edit.
A lot of things.
Yes.
A
There are
lot
things we
of
need to
things.
edit.
A lot of
We need
things.
to check some things. We need to do some things, and we need to understand with each other. And the most important thing is unite and understand that we have value in collaborative efforts. So I mean, even that's what I'm saying. The thing is, an elderly person gonna do this because right now, since you can get information faster, before it doesn't used to be like that. They used to just pass information by word of mouth, So they just pass information.
They'll write letter and
You
give it
write
to
letter,
messenger
give somebody
to another village.
Yes.
You like 7 days on the road.
So you see. So those things now like this, and there are no record keeping. I can just store my things on my phone. Later I can come and access them. And I can also learn online because with this podcast, I know we have a lot of channels and podcasts around in the internet available right now. So you can access more information the same way that we're passing information right now. Another person is also sharing value. So all you need to just do is just tune in and just watch and consume the right content that will help you grow and help you evolve. Try to know more about other people's culture. Try to know more about your own culture.
If you know more about people's culture, I think it will help you tolerate other people.
It will help you, yes. Because if you are being curious, you would know it. But, there are things if they say you should, just ask questions.
I think the Nigerians really need to hear this message because, the lot of tribal war that has been going on
these days and the thing is that
has been really terrible.
Yeah. And if you find out, it could be land grabbing, it could be, I don't know. I don't want to, maybe politically influenced. I don't know. So,
but anything we say is allegedly, please.
Yes, allegedly.
It's allegedly, please.
So, things like that. And if you dig down, you might find out that it is solely to just get something. Either they want to pick out resources from that place or something, or they want to just grab the land.
And they instigate these tribal wars.
Yes, so they instigate all these wars and all that. Cause confusions, cause differences, but we're not.
When doing elections, you see paid influencers spreading tribal sentiment and all that.
It does the kind of thing that because we are ignorant of our power, our strength in unity, then we are being controlled by the old things that we know and we believe in. So we believe that, me, I'm better than you, that kind of thing. So
I better pass my neighbor.
You understand? I better pass my neighbor. So all these things, they can just use those kind of things to just cause, disunity and a lot of chaos.
Especially in a country where everybody are angry, like Nigeria.
Hungry. And
everybody's hungry. Everybody's angry.
So if you keep somebody hungry and if you offer him something to do as a task and you're going to promote him handsomely,
they will do anything for them.
And especially since now that they don't know. But right now, I mean, there are a lot of people that are getting aware, that are getting awoken and understand the collaborative effort of, joining together to collaborate together, sharing ideas. There is more that we can achieve together than apart, So we can go far if we collaborate together and rub heads. You understand now? It promotes a lot of innovation and creative thinking.
So do you think most traditional leaders of nowadays in Nigeria, do you think they still have this leadership structural relevance in our society today?
Yes, I mean they do.
I think
they do because I know of. I think if you're going to even buy a land, you must have to go through the community head.
Is that a relevance?
No, I mean it's just for you have to show respect to the way they do things. You have to show respect. It's not like as if you're going to violate their rules, just go and just do anything anyhow. You have to also show respect. So the only way is
what I'm about to say now is not even allegedly. What I'm about to say now is with evidence. Most of our traditional rulers nowadays, I think they are just political clowns nowadays, where they just bend to political will. You see most of them being servants for politicians, and they don't give their all to the people anymore. Do you get?
Okay. No, I mean, but we have adopted as Nigerians another system of governance.
So it has pushed
So
the
it has,
traditional
yes,
dish.
of course, it will. Because right now we have adopted another rule, another system of governance, of which, if you look at it deep down, even in your culture, there is a way you guys used to judge each other before. If somebody do something, there is a community head now, or the king. You have your king, and from there you have your rules, how you guys collect tax, how you guys do things. You do have that kind of system.
But now I found a better way to do those
But
things.
now, yes, since this is the one we have adopted, we think is the better one.
It is really the best.
Yes, so if that's the best,
Would you
now,
rather live in those era? When
No, I mean,
than this era.
there is a reason why this kind of system of government is operating. There is a reason why. Probably the pros are more than the cons. Yes.
So we found it better. I think you have agreed with me now. So do you think these traditional rulers, do you think they will still be able to gain relevance in the future?
No.
What do you think they need to do to gain relevance? Because definitely I don't think they have any relevance now. What do they need to do to gain relevance in the future?
You know, the thing is that we are still Nigerians. So even though we have adopted this system of governance, it hasn't really touched or affect. Even some people currently are still operating under the traditional way of rulership. Maybe in some villages, thick villages that you don't know. They don't even care about these things. These are still stuck to the way they used to do things before, up to now. So you would know that they really care less about that one. So their power just lie within mostly themselves. So, but since this is they need to be enlightened about, like, this is what has happened right now, and they also need to evolve. So I think if they want to gain relevance, they should just adopt or just accept the reality, and whatever they cannot change, let it just be like that. And then, I mean, they can find they can talk to the government, they can find a possible recognition for them or something.
So before we round up this episode, do you think there are other things you might want to say?
I mean, we pretty have said almost everything, especially the key is for us to understand that our cultures are foundations for us to grow and to build a future. So it's very important that you learn about your culture, you know where you're from, and learn other people's culture. In fact, we're going to even start doing the hard work for you, like on our channel, that's Archive Heritage. We're going to start doing documentaries or things that will be able to help you learn about other people's culture and even your own culture, probably if we stumble on yours. So yeah, let's know what if you have any diabolic things that that is
any superstition.
Yeah, you can just share with us till we get to know it.
So we can do a documentary on it.
We can continue learning from there. So learning never stops.
So I've come to the end of this episode, guys. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe so we can bring this again to you next week. Thank you.